Gentlemen, you're going to protect yourselves at all times. Obey my instructions at all times. You keep fighting until I tell you to stop. Now touch gloves if you want. Step back.
Final instructions there from referee Mr. Rich Mitchell. 5-minute rounds if they need them for the Cage Warriors welterweight world title. The challenger Justin Burlinson in the grey camo. The champion James Sheehan in the black and white zebra print. Touch of gloves and we are underway. Incredible atmosphere in the sold-out RDS in Dublin. The Cage Warriors 188 main event live on UFC Fight Pass. Brad Wharton and Paul Redmond privileged to call this one.
Big shot there from Justin Burlinson, gets it. Pushing James's head against the fence. You see James's right leg and both legs going in onto the hips, try to create a bit of space. Here we go. Tries to go back to butterfly guard. Nice work from Justin, just to pass, try to attempt the pass here.
Strong start for the challenger in the first minute of 25.
I'd like to see James, instead of going double unders and hold Justin in this position, just go one under, attack an arm. I was looking for the elevator sweep there, but
Burlinson looking to create a bit of space here. It's going to be a bit of leverage for his shots. Struggling though. The crowd here in Dublin getting behind James Sheehan. Huge career implications for both men in this one.
There is a shoulder plank there on the left arm that just let it go now from the overhook. These are nice shots here from Burlinson coming down. He's going to move here. Stay in these positions, taking shots. Even if they're not fight ending, they're scoring, win the round. James, with the roll back for a knee bar. On the Kimura grip here. Look at the.
Well, you might have a bite here, Paul.
Yeah, I'd rather see him get that left leg in across the Justin's stomach. James looking to wrestle. Look, got to be careful of the neck here that he doesn't get his back taken. Look for Justin to sit out to the right side here, get the inside hook in. James eating big shots.
Burlinson loves that ground and pound. Trying to get an arm around the neck there. Can Sheehan turn into him?
Yeah, out the back door, Sheehan goes. This is where James does some of his best work in the gym. You see him grapevine that left leg. Justin done a good job just to get his foot out of there. When James is in this position, I know from experience, it is just heavy, heavy, heavy. He is a nightmare. There's that first hook in. Justin's got to be careful. He's got to go trap the two arms. James' two arms underneath his armpits. Go 2-on-1. I'd rather see James get a hook in here. You see him just dogged with that body lock. Burlinson looking to hit the switch. Can't create the angle. Look for James to triangle his feet. Underneath Justin's legs. There's that head and arm attempt that he loves.
Good work from James Sheehan in the later stages of this first round. Giving Justin Burlinson a lot to think about here. Burlinson trying to come out from under his man.
Justin's got to be careful that James doesn't take the back off that. Wiley has that angle. That's the hook back in here now. Has the second hook in too as well. You see James' right leg going down to the right leg of Justin. You see him extend that leg. Just collapsing Justin's weight.
Watch the back of his head there, James.
15 seconds left here of the round. I'd like to see James just keep them hooks and go belly down rather than pull back into the cage.
But we have 4 more to go to decide this one if they need them. Sheehan Burlinson, round 2. Nice jab from the champ. Sheehan's corner telling that man that Burlinson is biting on these. Will that takedown attempt come early again from the challenger?
Not big here from both either yet, sorry. But the two are certainly working with their kicks. Got some jabs off. Left hook.
He's into Sheehan, looking to finish the fight. The referee is taking a close look at this one. Burlinson somehow survives.
I thought he was gone, Brad.
He may have been for a split second. Sheehan on the back. Burlinson could still be in a world of trouble here.
I'd imagine James's corner is just calling for shots rather than the choke. Couple of big shots here, you're going to get the TKO, you're already in trouble. And this is what we were talking about Justin's heart earlier on. There's no giving that man, and if he's in here, he's in here.
Burlinson trying to survive. 3.5 minutes left in the round though, and Sheehan hammering away from back position.
And he is trying.
Suijdam stretch here.
It could be. I've not seen him do it in the gym, but he does know it. I'd like to just settle my hips a little bit further back on Justin again and just go to work with the strikes. Because every minute or every few seconds you're not hitting him, he's recovering.
And we know all about the ability of Justin Burlinson to recover the man's eye Wolverine.
Yeah. James looking to set up that head now. This is his go-to. This is his go-to.
Oh, that looks like for a moment there, but
Justin doing a good job of just rolling through.
my goodness, that looked absolutely
I thought that was gone. Whoa.
Looked like the arm the elbow maybe dislocated there. Let's keep an eye on that. I'm sure James Sheehan running off adrenaline now, but he's going to feel that in the morning, surely.
Was gone. I thought his arm was gone. Justin is very much still in this.
And we're just seeing it in our monitor, and I have no idea how that arm didn't pop. I mean, that's crazy, and we'll hopefully be able to show that to you at the end of the round. But Justin Burlinson still in this fight.
There's a solid wrestling here from James. Good defensive work here from Burlinson as well.
Yeah, well, it may be behoove James to try and break away here and go back to throwing strikes. Shots from Sheehan.
And when he lets them go, he digs them in. Nice shot there here from Justin. Big body shot again.
Burlinson firing back with big punches. Swings a little wild on that one. Sheehan putting it back on the fence. We always thought that this one would have some elements of a war of attrition, and that's turning out to be exactly correct.
Hey, stop. Time.
Sorry, sir.
Over there.
Referee calling time. I'm not exactly sure why, but we'll find out.
I think it was just on the belt line.
Go stand there for me.
I think it was just on the belt line. I don't think he was
Time out.
I don't think it was,
I saw it.
I don't think it was a low blow or...
You got plenty of time, all right?
Maybe it was a low blow, but unintentional. I'm not too sure.
Don't do it. Stay there.
Really catch it on that
second one that
replay.
strayed low. You've got to be more careful for me.
Yeah, maybe just on the cup there, and Burlinson's going to have up to 5 minutes to avail himself of.
It's probably the best thing that could have happened to Justin, just to recover from that big shot earlier on the round.
Okay, keep him clean. You lose your
Doesn't
position.
want to take the full 5, wants to get straight back to it. Touch of gloves, and we're back on the way with 30 on the clock. Right hand from Burlinson. Talks about that grit and tenacity, that ability to recover and get back in the fight. Can he do that here against Sheehan? Nice combination from the champ. Final seconds of the round, and we will see number 3.
For a third round of what the pace that they've set from round 1, the two guys still look fresh.
Again, getting stuck in. Neither man wanting to make a crucial error in those exchanges. Nice kick to the body from Sheehan.
Sheehan just getting behind that jab. I'd like to see him throw a right hand and a kick on it. It's one of his favourites in the gym. His calf kick there from Burlinson.
Yeah, and Burlinson again having to back up a little bit there.
Look for James to start sneaking in body shots now as Justin comes in. That's a nice jab. Right hand over the top from Justin.
Both men still throw big power. And these are shots that can change the course of a fight in an instant. And there's a beautiful double leg takedown from Burlinson.
Smart from Justin. Gets the takedown. Justin pulling James just away from the cage. Triggers back on the mat. Look for Justin, the big back step out of this guard here. James over that octopus guard. Can't quite get it.
Sheehan's corner calling for their man to try and create a little bit of space. They're wanting to find a way out from underneath Burlinson, or perhaps even start attacking with submissions from this bottom position.
James has got some submissions off his backs, triangles, arm bars. He has the flexibility to do it in this position too. I'd like to see him go to wrist control, start setting some stuff up from there, which he's going to here now.
6 submission victories for the challenger, Justin Burlinson. Jimbo size, never submitted in competition.
It's good forward pressure here from Justin. He's just heavy, heavy, heavy. Not the biggest amount of ground and pound coming off it. Gotta be careful to get the back here. He doesn't let Justin take 2 hooks. Justin on the neck here. Justin on the gilly.
Turning him against the cage with it. Look for Burlinson to maybe throw knees in. Oh, he tries the trip.
James just squeezes his head out. Nice attempt there from Justin.
And there's blood coming from a cut under the eye, I think, of Burlinson.
Aragoshi attempt here from Justin.
Sheehan staying strong now. That's another body shot. And that got a grimace out of Burlinson. Oh, I think he may have hurt to the body there.
Yeah, I think he's going to go back to an hour sec. This clinch position. Got to be careful with this neck.
Sheehan disengages again. There's that double leg from Burlinson. Twice it's worked for him, the third time it doesn't.
Good reversal there from James. Nice takedown attempt from Justin. Just not as powerful as the last two that he did. I'd like to see James go back to the body where he was having some success with it before. Nice knee up the middle.
Big knee there from Burlinson. You cannot sleep on the challenger for even a second. He's always got things to pull out of the bag. More steady shots here from the champ, though.
Yeah, it's good head position. It's good keeping Justin on the cage. That forward pressure. I'd like to see him do more of these short punches, though, and go back to the body where he's having a lot of success in here.
The warning from the referee to improve that position, but the clock's going to run out on this one.
Stop there.
And for the second consecutive time, James Sheehan will enter the championship rounds. The challenger looking the worst for wear of the two, but still very much in this one. There's that double leg entry. And again, Sheehan standing strong.
Switch,
He's taken it out.
He still has it. Justin doing a good job to take the back here, or attempt to take the back. Just to slide into mount. James on a Cabral grip on the right side.
Burlinson trying to free the arm.
Yeah, I think Justin's going to just slide over. James got to be careful that Justin doesn't slide the arm under his neck for a head and arm.
Couple of short shots there from Burlinson. Minute gone in the fourth. Still very much anyone's game.
James opted to give the back just to create a bit of space to get out.
Sheehan's corner screaming at him to get back to his feet. Burlinson trying to control the leg, though. Trying to collapse the basing limbs of James Sheehan.
Justin is doing everything right here. James trying to drop through the wrestle back up. Big point work out for him. Justin on the neck here.
Burlinson looking to attack that guillotine again. That's a submission! Unbelievable! Out of nowhere, Justin Burlinson submits James Sheehan.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mr. Rich Mitchell, calls a stop to this contest after 1 minute and 49 seconds of round number 4, declaring your winner by way of guillotine choke, and the new Cage Warriors welterweight champion of the world, Justin Burlinson.
Justin Burlinson is your new Cage Warriors welterweight champion of the world. 5-minute rounds should they need them for the big gold belt, the interim Cage Warriors welterweight world title.
Ready.
Melvin van Suijdam in the black with white trim. Sean Clancy Jr. in the tartan. Cage Warriors 199 main event underway. Brad Wharton and Dan Strauss privileged to call the action on what has been an absolutely insane night here at Cage Warriors in Newcastle.
Yeah, what a way to end the year.
Patient start from Clancy here. And folks, the Cage Warriors welterweight world champion Justin Burlinson is at cage side, watching on with a keen interest in this one. could well find himself opposite the winner of this bout in 2026. Van Suijdam with the triple black belts. He gets clipped there by Clancy. Didn't like that. The black belts in judo, jiu-jitsu and taekwondo.
There's a shot. Beautiful sprawl on it. Defended nicely, but continuing the drive forward.
We saw Italo Gomez last time out put Clancy in some awkward positions on the mat in the first round.
Yeah, I hurt my knee just watching that fight. Nicely defended here. Clancy now with his man up against the fence, driving forward with the head.
3 minutes left in this, the first of 5 5-minute rounds. A patient start from Sean Clancy. Van Suijdam is not the kind of guy you want to make a mistake against early. Exchanging knees to the body. Clancy looking for a big elbow on the break, didn't get it. They separate, and Van Suijdam takes centre of the cage. Clancy tries a head kick. Oh, nice combination there from Clancy. Van Suijdam teases the backward elbow there.
Bench again from Suijdam. Can feel the power difference between the two. Sean Clancy Jr. just an absolute athlete.
Clancy's brother is in his corner. He had a big win last weekend, potentially turning pro soon, and that was a low blow from Clancy. A knee below the belt. Clearly not intentional, but Clancy's going to have to watch what he's doing there.
Yep, that's a low blow.
Don't get much more direct than that.
Yeah, I know, I saw it. Do you want to be back on the fence, or do you want to restart out in the open? Tell me when you're ready. Okay, Sean, keep it clean. Ready, ready.
And the referee is giving Melvin Van Suijdam the opportunity to either continue where they were or have it back in the middle. He takes the middle and he's ready to go. Nice body shot from Clancy. Clancy just like a coiled spring here. Van Suijdam proving tricky to pin down though in this first round. And perhaps his biggest weapon here is that experience. Oh, that's a huge right hand from Clancy. He barrels forward. Van Suijdam clinching up. He's going to be careful here. 20 seconds on the clock. Representing a significant step up in competition for Clancy. And Clancy not looking at all out of his depth here. Suijdam just using that jab to the field. Sean Clancy Jr. with an absolutely devastating knockout in the second round.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mr. Rich Mitchell, calls a stop to this contest after just 29 seconds of round number 2, declaring your winner by way of knockout and the new interim Cage Warriors welterweight champion of the world, Sean the One Clancy.
And new Sean Clancy is the world champion at 23 years of age. Great show of respect there from his opponent, Melvin von Suijdam. David Bear in the solid black trunks. Justin Burlinson in the long black shorts with the white trim. And Burlinson looking to get straight to work here.
The expression on Burlinson's face is like he was planning a snooker match. You know what I mean? It was just like he was going through the moves in his head. You could see him in his corner, just consumed with his game plan. He's got a plan here. You can quite clearly see that he's got a. Oh, that was probably not going according to plan. Beautiful takedown there by the Bear.
Yeah,
fantastic. One of the best laid plans of mice, men, and bears, eh?
Straight in the side control as well. We know Burlinson is very, very effective on the ground. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do off his back from here. Looking to take wrist control. When someone takes wrist control like this from half guard, I expect to see him throw that left arm over and possibly go for a Kimura grip. Currently trying to work back into a full guard position. And interesting to see Bear not really minding too much about that guard regain. You can see another attempt to pass the half guard. But look at that wrist control. That wrist control. If Burlinson can get that leg out, there's a triangle waiting for him. Just the shin being stuck or the foot being stuck on the hip of Bear, but very, very close to getting that leg out, and he's got very long limbs. So expect to see triangle attempts, expect to see Brabos and Darces and apparently slaps.
You know, we talked about the fact that Burlinson has been the main training partner of Jack Grant for Grant's title fight. That doesn't mean he's just been brought in as a sparring partner for Grant. That means these guys have been helping each other prepare. And what better way to prepare than be on the ground with Jack Grant?
Oh, he's been in this position a few times during training camp, I can guarantee that. I was actually quite surprised that David Bear decided he wanted to grapple, because often when you see two guys bring a good grappling pedigree to the cage, they tend to kickbox a little bit. They tend to feel it out on the feet and see how that goes first. But he was adamant that he wanted this fight on the floor. And Justin Burlinson, he's not allowing him to do anything here.
Continuing to go to that wrist control, very, very triangle heavy are these setups off his back at the moment from Burlinson. So I would not be surprised. He's switching into a butterfly guard position, and then once again, you see how he overhooks on one side and wrist controls on the far side. And even when you're in a half guard position or a knee shield position like this, if you can control one arm and get the other one out of the equation, you can still set up that triangle. So that's definitely what's playing on his mind at the moment. But so far, Bear doing a fantastic job of stopping his opponent from being really able to set up anything there. Nice butterfly guard position with double underhooks. He's trying to roll backwards to get the weight off of his opponent, and expect to see him either try and sweep to the side here, or if he gets the opportunity, he can actually use this as a takedown and drive forward. If he can get the front of his head, the top of his head on the chest of his opponent, he can use that as a takedown.
David Bear was doing such a good job there of weighting his hips and hanging heavy so as not to be elevated by those butterfly hooks.
Yeah, but you're going to see Burlinson repetitively go for that triangle off of the back, and that is what Bear, so far, absolutely fantastic at defending everything that Burlinson's throwing at him. But you can see, even though, a lot of the time you're waiting to see the legs get thrown up, you're waiting to see the legs open up and the hips move to see these triangle attempts. We're not seeing that, but what we're seeing is the subtle setup with the hands early on. But so far, they're able to negate all of that offensiveness off the back and looking very, very strong in this top half guard position.
One thing we took away from David Bear's fight against Nathan Jojo, it wasn't a particularly flashy performance, but it was very efficient, very suffocating. He's good at doing just enough to keep his positions and put points on the board.
Burlinson's working enough here from the bottom to force David Beer to focus on control anyway, which is allowing the referee to just let this position play out.
Yeah, and it's good to see Bear attempting to really pass that guard there. Burlinson very, very good at regaining guard. Another sweep attempt we can see here, but you can almost feel the strength of Bear in that top position, living up to that name, being very, very hard to move at all when he's on the ground.
A couple of short elbows there from Burlinson, keeping David Bear guessing.
Yeah, was thinking about a possible guillotine choke there. We know training partner Jack Grant, who we mentioned, has a couple of wins via guillotine. But Bear still smothering his opponent, even against the fence here. Spinning back fist and straight into the clinch, spinning back elbow and straight back into the clinch position.
It's given Burlinson an opportunity to work though, and Burlinson with a late takedown. It's tough to see that he's going to have much time to do anything with it, but it's certainly giving some confidence heading into the second frame.
Absolutely, and it's a shame he's run out of time because basically straight into a mount position, a very strong ground and pound there. You know, certainly the most success he found in the entire round came really in the last 15 seconds of it.
Touch of gloves and we are underway. Let's see how Burlinson and Bear come out in this second frame. Co-main event here at Cage Warriors 124. Brad Ward and Dan Strauss and Dan Hardy privileged to call the action from the iconic York Hall in London.
Burlinson's footwork, he just doesn't give you space to breathe. You can see the Bear trying to find space in the cage as Burlinson's walking him down. He's doing a good job of moving laterally and chopping into that lead leg. We're seeing some redness around the lead knee of Burlinson. Doesn't seem to be phasing him too much, but it's certainly water in the basement for the third round. Nice short right hand over the top and a nice jab to follow.
Yeah, Burlinson's really found his range here in the second round. That's where these extensive amateur careers come into play, because you look at this on paper and think, well, David Bear's got twice as many fights. Well, actually, no, Burlinson's probably got about 4 times as many fights as David Bear.
And you can see that experience showing through just in how calm he is in this moment. I mean, he had a rough first round, he was up against it, but he kept his composure. He's gone back to his game plan, which looks to me like he's going to try and come over the lead shoulder with the right hand and make it a very claustrophobic fight for David Bear.
Jab from Bear there.
Swiping left hook from David Bear.
Little feint on the takedown there, gets a bit of a reaction from Burlinson. There it is, but Burlinson, unlike that first round, very much ready for the shot from Bear. Look for a second there like he's going for the trip. I think in the clinch, Burlinson very happy to try and get back to top position, considering the success he had even just for a couple of seconds at the end of that first round.
This fight is a real statement to the depth of the welterweight division on the Cage Warriors roster at the moment. I mean these guys, competitive, talented, there's the spinning elbow again. Unfazed is Burlinson moving forward, but David Bear's having some success with these shots as well.
Oh, the sliding elbow over the back there.
Rodriguez, yes. Lovely takedown defense, head kick to follow. Oh, and a body shot. That hurt him. Kind of feel like Burlinson's starting to take over this round. Halfway through this second round, and even the shots that are landing don't seem to be phasing him too much. There's the 4th time he goes with the elbow. Oh, he's down!
Burlinson looking to finish the fight.
Oh! Still undefeated. What an incredible performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mr. Rich Mitchell, has called a stop to this contest after 2 minutes and 42 seconds of round number 2, declaring your winner by way of knockout in the blue corner, Justin Burlinson.
Justin Burlinson making the statement here at Cage Warriors 124. And all of a sudden, the welterweight division is firing up again.
Okay.
King B, Milton Alfonso Cabral in the black and patterned shorts. Sean Clancy Jr. in the black with red and white trim. Look for King B to come out, trying to throw that power early. . Heavy leg kick there from the Paisley man. Sean Clancy Jr. just looking in absolutely peak physical condition.
I was going to say he looks like a big lump for welterweight.
A big lump for a 20-year-old, I'll tell you that.
A little bit of a feel now with process here. Nice teep to the face from Clancy.
We know Cabral likes the head kicks too, but he may have to mind his P's and Q's here if Clancy's throwing them. Beautiful shot there with the right hand and got out of the danger zone, and Cabral just giving him a smile there. That usually tells you that that shot landed.
Took the words out of my mouth, Brad. Anyone that's ever eaten a nice punch and a smile comes, it hurt.
Yeah, straight in off the shot there, lands nicely, straight onto top position. Dagestani handcuff with the right arm. He's looking to try and expose the back here. Landed some nice ground and pound. Beautiful positioning here for Clancy Jr.
Sting in those shots from the higher level man.
Cabral doing a great job of keeping his right side to the fence here to stop Clancy from coming around the back and really solidifying that back position. But I mean, you don't want to be stuck here either.
No, and you can see Clancy just dropping his, sinking his hips into that position and making it unbelievably tight.
He's on the back there, and I don't think he's going to bother trying to get underneath the neck there. I think he's going to, if possible,
Has it on the jaw.
Put the pressure on. And a really nice job from Cabral underneath there of pushing upwards on the elbow to try and raise that off of the jaw and onto the top of the head where it's not going to have any effect. But 2.5 minutes left in this round, and a beautiful position for Clancy and a really bad position to be in for Cabral.
You know, a body lock with your back against the cage, for me, isn't the best position because he has nowhere to go to extend his hips. I think he has to float to one side here. I think Clancy is actually stuck in this position, and it's actually helping Cabral out just for the time being.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of a pressure through the feet of Cabral. They're actually trying to continue to drive backwards to smother Clancy up against the cage here. And you're right, Paul, it means that Clancy's not going to get the ability to extend through the choke here like he can from this top position, but the angle is completely off here. If the choke is on here at all, it's going to be more of a neck crank than a choke.
And there attacks it. I guess when you're that jacked down, you just need a big squeeze. And that's exactly what Sean Clancy Jr. got.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mr. Rich Mitchell, calls a stop to this contest after 3 minutes and 8 seconds of the very first round, declaring your winner by way of rear naked choke in the red corner, Sean Clancy Jr.
Couldn't really ask for a better Cage Warriors debut from Sean Clancy Jr. He's just signed an exclusive long-term contract with the Cage Warriors. That's the first fight done and dusted. And I'm very, very interested to see what comes next from this young man from Paisley. In the white, Justin Burlinson in the black. Skapinski, known as a wrestler, he's told us he's been working on his boxing ahead of this one. And if he were to put Justin Burlinson down with his fist, that really would be a turn up for the books. Burlinson looking to right the ship and take another step towards Cage Warriors welterweight gold.
So Southpaw v Orthodox again. You can see Burlinson just edging forward. What we need to be paying attention to here is the front foot. The person who has their front foot on the outside is the one that's controlling the lead hand. Both of these guys are lined up for their power rear hand, so you can see Skiba is looking for that straight left to Burlinson's chin, and Burlinson is doing the same thing with his straight right.
Patient start from both guys here.
I think Skiba's coming over the top with a left hand in a minute, and then we're going to get a level change. He seems to be posturing that way.
Burlinson just feeding out the jab there, finding his range.
There's the left hand. You can really see that 24 fight pro experience for Skiba but then the 17-1 amateur record of Burlinson has got to give him some confidence in his experience as well. It's just a different thing as a pro, you know. Elbows on the ground, knees to the head, 5-minute rounds, there are differences.
Speaking of huge amateur records, Christian Leroy Duncan challenges for the middleweight world title against Jati Malan tomorrow night, live on UFC Fight Pass and our international broadcast partners. Slightly low there from Skapinski, but we're going to get right back to the action. Skapinski kicking to the body that time. 3 minutes left in this first round.
There's constant pressure from Burlinson, even though he's not doing anything. You can always, nice high kick from Skiba. Oh, there's an uppercut from Burlinson, threatened.
Things starting to open up here, the halfway point of this round.
There it is, there's the left hand to a level change. Great defense by Burlinson, but he eats a couple of uppercuts on the clinch.
Oh, nice left hand there from Skiba. Tries the body kick behind it. Right hand over the top there from Burlinson. Catches man with the jab again, trying to feed that uppercut through.
A nice right hand over the top from Skiba, who's now starting to switch to orthodox as well, giving his opponent some different looks. Oh!
Beautiful hand speed there from Burlinson. Took one back from Skapinski though. Got that guard nice and high.
Skapinski trying to hold the center a little more now. Could see some marks on Burlinson's face. That's one thing I might say about Burlinson is he can be a little bit hittable when he's moving forward constantly.
Oh, takes a few big shots there. Skiba chasing him around the cage, rocks him with the right hand. Big knee from Skiba and a shot to the body. Burlinson firing back, but Skapinski in control at this stage. Oh, he's rocking Burlinson. He's got him up against the cage. He's looking to finish the fight.
Skapinski's not letting him off here. He's going to stay on him.
Get out of there.
Mark Goddard taking a close look here. There's a minute left on the clock. Skapinski can't get lackadaisical with these shots though. Oh! Knee from Burlinson comes back. What an end to this first round, if it gets that far. Another big uppercut from Skapinski. Nice body shot from Burlinson. Skapinski's using that collar tie and the uppercut to perfection though.
Skapinski taking a few deep breaths here as well since he unloaded. That was a lovely uppercut. That was a really slick rear uppercut from Burlinson. Caught his opponent's head level change, and he keeps trying for that front kick as well, working the body of a fatiguing opponent.
He landed that, what, 3 times in a row? A beautiful combination from Burlinson. Good head movement from Skapinski there. Burlinson backing him up, and again goes to the body with that uppercut. What a round! Who's to say?
Really difficult round to score that. I would say that Burlinson was probably the more hurt out of the two fighters during the round, but I think he also landed some of the cleaner shots. Single leg by Skapinski now, trying to get Burlinson to the canvas, and he does.
Yeah, immediately onto the back from there, but Burlinson pops straight back to his feet. Skapinski's in a good position now, taking those legs away. But look at the grip fighting of Burlinson. Skapinski using that powerful frame to lift his man up and bring him back down to the ground. Burlinson has a really nice guard game. You know, we've seen in a lot of his fights how aggressive he can be off of his back. So look to see him try and tie up with overhooks and underhooks here, trying to set up submissions, triangles, arm bars off of this back position. But Skapinski's going to be so experience. He knows exactly what he's doing from here, and I think it's very likely that he'll take his time here and probably look to strike out of this position. I mean, shoulder crunch position from Burlinson underneath. This is a really strong control position, but you've got to be really, really tight with it, and there's a little bit loose there, and Daniel was able to pull that shoulder out.
Skapinski was looking to get some ground and pounds of work there, but just not being given the opportunity by Burlinson.
Yeah, absolutely. When you've got someone who's so active off of their back, it can be very difficult to get into a rhythm. What you want to do as someone who likes to strike from on top is you want the person to be quite passive, but Burlinson is anything but passive from underneath.
Big elbows from the bottom there from the Sunderland man.
And, you know, interesting position that Skapinski's taken here. He's taken a crossface from inside of the closed guard. You know, there's nothing that you can do from here positionally. So, really, he's just kind of not doing much with the position. At least strike from here if you're going to do something. You know, is Skapinski going to look to pass the guard from here? The legs are quite wide open, but I think Burlinson might want a little bit of space to find opportunity to try and get back to his feet. He looked for a front headlock position there, but he's found himself underneath half guard. This is a much better position for Skapinski. He can pass straight to mount from here, but Burlinson doing a great job of managing to elevate just enough to get back to the closed guard. You can see how active he is. This is what I love about Burlinson's guard game, how active he is off of his back, not just with strikes, but with submission attempts as well.
People really underestimate these palm strikes. If you've never watched any Bas Rutten fights, you want to go and watch his fight against Frank Shamrock, where he drops him with a palm. Like, this is all really useful stuff to keep the judges favouring you in this round. Keep working the opponent. And the other thing as well, whenever you're boxing their ears, even if you're using an open palm, it's stopping them trying to work. They're going to be focused on controlling and defending. Oh!
Almost a sweep there, but the wrestling base of Skapinski keeps him on top. Burlinson into an omoplata here. This is not a great position for MMA, but what you can do is use this to set other stuff up. So either to sweep or to try and, I mean, I say it's not a great position. This is a pretty deep omoplata setup from here. This is incredibly rare, very, very difficult to keep control here. You see how that elbow's popping out, and he's going to find himself underneath side control. I mean, Skapinski very slow to react there off of the escape from the omoplata. He should have been turning in straight into side control, and he almost had his back taken there. So he's looking very, very tired.
And Burlinson going straight back to that front kick to the body, looking to wear his man out.
Skapinski taking some deep breaths, 90 seconds left in this round. He glances over at his corner team. You just cannot discourage Burlinson.
Oh, huge uppercut. Goes round with a right hook. Looking for the knee. Oh, big knee to the body, one to the chin. Skapinski looking for that dirty boxing again. But it's Burlinson getting the better of these exchanges.
Now we're seeing Skapinski really weakened.
Oh, yeah, he is super tired from here.
Oh, big shots from Burlinson. My God, taking a close look here. Another big knee to the body.
I mean, I'm surprised we haven't seen a level change from Skapinski. I think he's so tired that he can't even change level at this point.
Look at the targeting from Burlinson. Look how he's reading where his opponent's going and picking the correct targets to attack. What a head kick. Then he'll go back to working the body. Nice elbow.
Oh, and that staggered him. Skapinski almost collapsing into that takedown attempt.
You know, like I said, you know, Skapinski wants the level change. He doesn't have the energy to do that. So just dropping down here, this guillotine, that guillotine is tight. This front naked choke position here. I mean, he can absolutely put him to sleep with this if he doesn't tap. It's a strong position, and he's gonna tap.
Oh, he got it!
Unbelievable! Wow! Justin Burlinson submits Daniel Skapinski in the third round of an absolute thrill ride.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially 4 minutes, 54 seconds of round number 2. Submission by guillotine for your winner, Justin Burlinson!
Oh, what a fight, what a return, and what a win for Justin Burlinson. Brazil's Lucas Rodriguez in the grey and black. Sean Clancy Jr. in the blue tartan. Hard leg kick to start things off from Clancy. saw Lucas Rodriguez earlier this year in Manchester, just last month, in fact. Took on another hot undefeated prospect in Anthony Orozco and kind of gave him all he could handle for the 3-round duration. A lot of people were expecting Orozco to kind of steamroll his way through that fight, but Rodriguez making him go the distance. Oh, big shot from Sean Clancy there. Snapped the head of Lucas Rodriguez back.
Yeah, Rodriguez definitely isn't afraid of a fight. He takes the fights most people turn down, and he's given Sean Clancy a little bit of trouble here.
And already switched stance. You can see the welt. Look at the left leg of Rodriguez.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to pressure the way Rodriguez is, but he is paying for it with the check hooks, with the calf kicks. I like that push kick Clancy land. If he keeps throwing that up there.
There is a massive hematoma on the left leg and the left shin.
Yeah, that's huge. That's absolutely huge.
Wow.
And you can tell he wants to go back to his normal stance, and he is terrified of putting that left leg forward.
No, it's like he habitually switches and then switches back once he feels the pressure, the blood pulling.
Yeah, he really doesn't know what to do with these legs right now.
I think he might be trying to bait him into the calf kick so he can do something off of that attack, like maybe counter with a punch or go for something. But so far, Clancy isn't taking a bait. Oof.
Nice knee and drops down. Hands connected here. Straight in the side control. Dagestani handcuff on the far side. Looking to pass straight over into mount. Instead, sitting in a 3/4 mount position and throwing down some brutal ground and pound with that far arm trapped.
And these are the positions that set people apart. When you see someone who has first round finishes against good competition in their first few fights, and they're able to do this, get somebody down, just control the position like this, that's how you know they have a bright future ahead of them in MMA.
Digging underneath the neck now. If he wants that choke, he's going to have to force more of a turn in the hips. He's got to allow the hips to turn a little bit if he wants to take the back. He might sit backwards now and try and get that second hook in and attack the neck.
Rodriguez has to keep trying to scoot his hips out against the fence, get past that hook. He's blocking it a little bit, but now
there you go.
It's in.
The angle's not quite there yet. He's trying. You can see how desperately he's trying to turn around. He's pulling with the left leg. Nice defensive work by Rodriguez here. Rodriguez turns in now, tries to take top position. Clancy Jr. just a little bit too fast. His angle's still not perfect on the back here, but he's mixing up the grappling, the strikes, and the threats on the neck perfectly. Angle's not perfect, but he's throwing it up around the neck, palms to palm connected.
Still a minute left to play with for Sean Clancy Jr.
He's got to try and get a little bit more parallel hips to hips with the opponent. Rodriguez looking very calm and relaxed as he defends this.
He knows what to do. You can tell that he knows when he's in danger or not. Tagging those legs are key. Tagging the hook and being able to get free without getting choked, that was key in order for him to get free.
Well, Lucas Rodriguez is just 20 seconds away from becoming the first man to take Sean Clancy Jr. past the 5-minute mark as a professional.
I mean, we saw a similar thing with Anthony Orozco. He's one of those guys who've just been finishing everyone, getting big fights. And Rodriguez, if anything, he knows how to survive.
Nice right hand to start things off from Clancy Jr.
Punches in with the left hand. Straight onto the mat in the center of the cage here.
tries to pass three-quarter mount. Nice frames underneath by Rodriguez. Mount position secured. Rodriguez is trying to turn onto the side to pick up the ankle in between the legs and start to work his way back into a half-guard position, but you see the left leg is underneath the right leg of Rodriguez, making it impossible to pick it up. He's got to get that off. Another Dagestani handcuff on the far side, and he uses this incredibly well to force the opponent into this position where either they're on their side and they're getting punched, or they turn belly down and they get their back taken. It's why this position is so effective, because you basically put someone in limbo in the middle of two positions where they can't defend in either of them.
Big punch. Just for making him work too hard as he lands on Rodriguez.
Belly down, back mount. Rodriguez turns up, gives out the mount position, and we've already seen effective ground and pound from Clancy Jr., and I think we're going to see more from here.
Now Rodriguez has a little lump on his forehead, too, from those elbows.
Yeah, going to be a painful flight home for Lucas Rodriguez at this rate. Clancy looking to add a few more lumps and bumps for good measure. Pinning and punching from top position.
That was nice the way he had that arm trapped of his chest and was able to just tee off on him.
And that's a huge hematoma on the side of the head of Sean Clancy Jr.
This is
Lucas Rodriguez, rather.
This is a masterclass in grappling ground and pound and how to grapple in MMA. He's controlling the positions perfectly. He's striking and forcing reactions from the strikes. Everything you do causes a negative reaction from the opponent, whether you're grappling, you're controlling their limbs and they turn one way, and then you strike them and they turn another way, and they're just going from bad to worse the whole time. Really nicely done.
Oh my God, that thing's turning into a football, that hematoma on top of his forehead.
Wow, 3-0, 21 years of age, Sean Clancy Jr. This is something special, folks.
Yeah, there's a reason he's one of the top prospects. And into a triangle, I think he's going to finish this. He's locked on the wrong side, but if the triangle's tight, it really doesn't matter. Big elbows. God, are we going to see an omoplata?
I don't know any song lyrics that have anything like omoplata in them, unfortunately.
Good job by Rodriguez unraveling his arm and getting back on top for a moment.
I mean, the omoplata position is almost impossible to finish in MMA. You almost never, well, I mean, I can't remember the last time I ever saw an omoplata in MMA.
Say it so we can see one.
Rodriguez attacks a guillotine from a weakened position and gives up the top position in doing so. Probably not the smartest move here. I don't think that position, that guillotine, had fight finishing capabilities, and now he finds himself back underneath.
Maybe wait and see a Von Flue here if he wants to trap that arm and start pressure over his shoulder, but it looks like he just wants to clear it.
Clancy steps into love, big elbow, targeting that well on the side of Rodriguez's head. Paul Crosby taking a close look at this one. This is going to be it, and it's over! Unbelievable! Sean Clancy Jr. gets the win, and looks like a sure thing doing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mr. Paul Crossley, calls a stop to this contest after 4 minutes and 4 seconds of round number 2, declaring your winner by way of TKO in the red corner, Sean Clancy Jr.
Jamie,
Okay,
the young gun Richardson in the yellow and black trim. Justin Burlinson in the grey and white. Dan, we talked about this fight earlier. Both guys love a puncher, but both pretty well-rounded.
Yeah, very, very well-rounded. It's really one of those fights where we could see it go anyway. It's all going to come down to who starts to get the better and how those strategies change or how those strategies are being implemented.
Andrew Fisher in the corner of Justin Burlinson there, long time UK MMA stalwart. Couple of nice jabs landed from Richardson there. Burlinson firing back. Both guys just looking for that early opening here. And of course, Jamie Richardson fighting close to home tonight, but there seems to be a fair amount of support in the crowd from Burlinson, who comes to us from the northeast of England. Great to see the fans making the trek down for this huge weekend of mixed martial arts in the UK, starting here tonight with Cage Warriors, and then tomorrow night, huge UFC pay-per-view. That's a big overhand right from Richardson. Best shot of the fight so far, maybe. A little bit of redness on the nose of Justin Burlinson, but neither of these guys are strangers to a few lumps and bumps. Bit of blood coming from the nose of Richardson early.
Just spotted that. Nice left hand.
Bit of redness under the right eye of Burlinson, something to keep an eye on.
Oh, nice right hand from Richardson.
It's the second time he's landed that.
And that face of Burlinson starting to get a little bit marked up.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who just does wear that damage. And again gets popped on that right eye. Richardson.
Here it comes.
Perhaps
They're starting to
looking to up the tempo here.
Starting to get comfortable now.
Nice jab back from Burlinson though. Richardson did a great job against Matthias Frederick, and that middleweight title fight took 2 rounds off Matthias. Unfortunately got stopped by a big shot in the third. And like, when Matthias Frederick hits you, you stay hit, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No shame in that whatsoever. Back down at welterweight now, though. I do think this is the division for him.
Yeah, definitely undersized at middleweight, I think. Oh, nice right hand from Burlinson.
Yeah, making Jamie Richardson respect the hands there. Dips to the body.
And again.
And upstairs again.
Oh, and again.
Burlinson's hurt him here.
And now they're throwing down. Beautiful grip fight and pummeling on the inside by Burlinson there, looking like he was opening up some space to throw some strikes, but instead looks to clinch.
Looking to create some space, throw that elbow.
Richardson looking like he was trying to reach underneath for a high crotch position, but unfortunately the underhook that Burlinson has keeps his position too high. Now getting his hands locked behind, he's still in an over-under clinch position. And lots of forward pressure through the shoulder from Burlinson. Burlinson trying to get that double underhook. Again, if he finds that space, I think we might see another elbow. Some shoulder strikes there from Richardson.
Yeah, Richardson staying busy with his back to the fence. Needs to try and find a way out though, tries to pummel in briefly.
There's the elbow.
Yeah, on the right-hand side that time, mixing it up is Burlinson. And again, Burlinson lands the right hand. Final 10 seconds of the round. Will we see a big finish here in the first frame? Couple of nice kicks from Richardson.
Stop there. Go.
Round 2 underway here.
Nothing in terms of a takedown attempted in that first round. Will be interesting to see if there's any change in strategy from either men here.
Well, that's the thing, you know, Dan, neither guy really had a massive advantage. Both corners seemed pretty happy with what they were doing. You know, why change a winning formula? Richardson powering forward, looking to put some steam on those shots now, perhaps.
Yeah.
Nice combination there, double jab, right hand behind it.
Yeah, Richardson really increasing the pace here, pushing forward, loads of aggressiveness. Burlinson's turn now pushing forward.
Yeah, you heard Burlinson's corner call for the left, and he delivered straight away. Heavy leg kick there from Burlinson.
Yeah,
mixing it up a little bit now in the second round.
These guys are very evenly matched, aren't they?
Yeah, and you know, a similar situation with Jamie Richardson's last fight against James Sheehan. Really was a game of inches, and that's what we're seeing here again against Justin Burlinson. Pretty much going like for like on everything here, Dan.
You can see the momentum is just ever so slightly shifting back and forth, but no one is really taking control of this fight so far. 3 minutes left in this second round.
Nice right-handed game from Richardson. Don't forget a huge main event coming your way in just moments' time. The return of Jordan Vucenic against Tiziano Ferranti. Justin Burlinson landing a nice right hand though, tries the uppercut as well. Richardson firing back and the crowd firing up. I'm surprised we've not seen a takedown attempt from Burlinson.
Yeah, nothing from either man that would even suggest they're going to go for a takedown. Which is often the best time to go for it, right? Because your opponent has seen no signs that you're even considering. Oh, that left leg of Richardson starting to get chewed up, that thigh. We're in a couple, 2 or 3 red welts.
Yeah, both guys wearing a bit of damage. As we enter the back half of the fight, Richardson coming forward with a couple of shots there. Clearly a lot of respect from both fighters to their opponents' abilities here. Burlinson trying to slide forward with a left hand there. Didn't get too much on it.
Oh, nice.
Good shot by Justin Burlinson, but Richardson right in his face still. Catches the kick on the arm there. Oh, and that's a nice combination from Justin Burlinson.
Burlinson's
best of the round so far.
Yep, I agree. Burlinson landing more and more.
Richardson firing back though.
It's like they're taking turns to have a bit more success.
You only have to look back to that Phil Wells fight to know that Jamie Richardson is never, ever out of a fist fight.
Oh, nice right hand.
Beautiful combination. Can Richardson power forward? He can't.
I do worry about the blood coming from the nose of Jamie. You're thinking if the nose is bloodied, the mouth might be open to take in some air and increases the chances of getting caught. Or not getting caught, of getting put away if you are caught, I should say.
A good old-fashioned fist fight in London here. Final seconds of the round. Nice knee to the body from Richardson there. Third and final round underway here at the Indigo. Jamie Richardson, Justin Burlinson. Brad Morton and Dan Strauss on the call here tonight. Cage Warriors 150. On what is a huge weekend for mixed martial arts in the UK. Two young veterans trading shots here in the third, as they have for the duration.
I will say that I believe that Richardson has been pushing forward more throughout the fight. They have taken turns, but for the most part, Richardson has had a little bit more forward pressure.
And maybe that comes into it if the judges decide that the effective strike, and we've not seen any grappling, but if they decide that, well,
as you say it,
if they decide that effective striking and grappling is even, then maybe they're looking at who's the more aggressive fighter. Maybe some of these rounds have been that close.
Yep.
We'll have to wait and see.
I mean, this is very, very significant. First takedown attempt and successfully done, and not only that, gotten into side control here. This is a great position. It's going to be interesting to see what Jamie does to try and get back to his feet. That's exactly what I think he's going to try and do, trying to get to a butterfly guard position, but Burlinson is on him very, very tight here. I think Jamie needs to be very careful about going belly down as he tries to escape here. Burlinson can come around, take the back, and sink those hooks in. He's right next to his corner, so very clear, concise instruction being given, and Jamie giving the nod as he listens, playing that butterfly guard game. But Burlinson, look how the hands are connected here. He's in a tight body lock position if he wanted to. I mean, quite an easy pass almost there, almost the fence just stopping him inside the Richardson's going to try and pull that left leg. The foot is stuck as a butterfly hook. He wants to pull it out and go into a full closed guard or open guard position. And now I think he's going to try and attack off of his back here to try and create some space. Big elbows.
This is where Burlinson did the damage against McKee in Belfast last year, and this is where he's very dangerous.
Nice control with the hips is Burlinson. I don't think that Jamie's setting up these escapes to stand and just trying to walk back to the fence here, but Burlinson is so tight in this body lock position. I think there's a really good chance that if he wanted to, he could, I mean, just over half the round left of this fight, he could hold this position quite comfortably and secure this round. We have no idea who won the first.
Well,
honestly, I have no idea.
This is the crazy thing. I don't think either of these guys could have come out for this third round being confident that they were 2 up.
Yep. So this round could be potentially huge. So far, it's all Burlinson in this grappling. And strikes, oh, those are significant.
Rapid fire punches from Justin Burlinson there.
Yeah, Burlinson's still carrying his power on the ground in this third and final round. Richardson able to get back to his knees now, but he's given up the back position standing. The reshot from Burlinson, he picks the legs up and straight back to the ground. He's starting to drown Richardson.
Richardson right in front of his own corner team, taking instructions there, and they are willing him to attempt that stand-up at every opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, you could see the guillotine position with the right hand, but there's no position to set that up from here. You can see how Burlinson has tied up both legs. He's freed them now, but he tied up both legs to stop Richardson from being able to get those legs out and to get back up, and he passes into the mount.
Don't grab that fence.
He passes into the mount, and he has to be careful about giving up the back here. I think Burlinson's going to try and pull him backwards potentially and get the hooks in. There it is. I think he's got something here. The arms around the neck. He's going to go backwards now for the choke. And the hooks are in, and I think this could be over. We don't have a good view of here, so I can't be sure, but from the way that Burlinson is attacking this, I think he thinks he's got it, and he's out.
Oh, he's choked him out. Unbelievable. Justin Burlinson chokes out Jamie Richardson in the third round. And Dan, we said that neither man could go into that third round thinking that they were 2 up.
Yep.
It needed to be a finish to be certain. And that's exactly what Justin Burlinson was able to pull out of the fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mr. Rich Mitchell, calls a stop to this contest after 3 minutes and 55 seconds of round number 3, declaring your winner by way of rear naked choke in the blue corner, Justin Burlinson.
Justin Burlinson with a huge, huge win in the third round of our co-main event here in London. Rafael the Cop Aronov in the black. Sean the One Clancy Jr. in the blue tartan, and they come out swinging.
No messing around here from the Copy straight out the gate, but it's an interesting one for me. I would have, seeing as we don't have any major injuries that we know of going in from the other prize fighters going into the final, I would have liked for this fight to be to have the elbows, to have the full 3 rounds, and be told, cleared before they came out, to say, okay, you're not needed for the main event anymore. You can go out and do your thing for 3 rounds.
I mean, we're still waiting for the guys to get medically cleared. They're backstage with the doctors now, so we will update you on that as soon as possible, folks. But in the meantime, Sean Clancy Jr. with a big takedown early.
Yeah, huge pickup. slams Aronov to the ground. Gets the pass. He's looking to trap. Here comes the back take. There's 2 hooks. So smooth here from Clancy Jr. And here's a big squeeze off of Clancy.
This could be it. Sean Clancy with a big squeeze. Another submission.
Sean Clancy.
Absolutely flawless from Sean Clancy Jr. Wow.
Yeah, total domination there from Clancy Jr. Like I said, coming into this fight, he's the future of this welterweight division.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mr. Mark Goddard, calls a stop to this contest after 1 minute and 8 seconds of the very first round, declaring your winner by way of rear naked choke in the red corner, Sean the One Clancy Jr.
Oh, he is indeed the one. He's the one they came to see here tonight in Glasgow. Sean Clancy Jr. with a very big future in the sport, regardless of what happens here tonight. 3 5-minute rounds if they need them in the Cage Warriors welterweight division. Andre Augusto in the black, Sean Clancy Jr. in the blue. And that height difference really apparent as they meet in the center of the cage. We've seen Clancy do most of his best work on the mat. Could this be the one where he looks to keep it standing? Tense exchanges early here, and that kick checked by Augusto. Clancy using his range well early on. He's going to want to keep Augusto away from him. You don't want Augusto getting on the inside and being able to use his wrestling and grappling.
3 head kicks thrown already by Clancy Jr.
He's after that bum guard bonus. Ooh, flying knee by Clancy.
And there's the clinch. Augusto on the single leg, switches. I expect the switch for the double here. No, he picks him up. Incredible power in that stocky frame and takes him down. Not just takes him down, but in the center of the cage. Immediately into a nice, strong half-guard position, flattening him out. You can see Clancy Jr. trying to get onto his side, and this is a massive thing in half-guard. In order to really be able to do anything off of your back in half-guard, he's going for a triangle here. Love to see it. Triangle entry, and he's cutting the angle here, and he's now trying to attack an armbar. Augusto pulling out of it, but some great offensive grappling from the guard position for Clancy Jr.
Andrew Augusto, never been knocked out, only submitted once.
Augusto walking his man on the knees to the cage here. I think he's going to try and use the fence to pin him. Clancy Jr. does need to be careful about giving the back up as he tries to stand. It's an interesting choice here. Most of the time, if you want to grapple someone, you want them away from the fence where they can use the fence. And I almost feel like Augusto's put his back up against the fence to try and bait him standing up to take the back. But as he stands up here, no reaction from Augusto. So an interesting decision to take him to the fence, in my opinion.
A couple of nice knees up the left-hand side there from Clancy. Trying to find a way out. Gets his back off the cage. Tries a trick takedown there, doesn't get it.
Yeah, that low center of gravity from Augusto is going to be very hard to off-balance him. Nice frame on the armpit from Clancy Jr. as he tries to throw some strikes from the clinch. Taking advantage of that height. Try and get some knees.
Coach James Doolan Dylan the Nuke too. Clancy's little brother in the corner there. I'm told he is an absolute menace in the cage as well. One to keep an eye out for as Augusto barrels forward with some punches. But they're in the center of the cage now. This is where Clancy wants it. Clancy shooting for the takedown. Interesting. He was rapid, but so was the sprawl from Augusto.
Let's finger, Sean. Back in the head. Clean on track. Shoot the position, Sean.
Clancy yet to go to a decision as a professional. Did a couple of times at amateur. Augusto, one of those guys that even if you're beating him, it's difficult to look good doing so. He's such a spoiler in there. Foot stomp as we approach the final 10 seconds. Clancy just glancing up at the clock there. And we will see a second round. Round 2 underway. Oh, Clancy opening up fast. Flying knee in the right hand. Another knee attempt. Another. Big body shot from Augusto. Blast a knee of his own to the midsection.
Augusto driving forward here in this clinch, but not really doing anything with it. Quite passive in these clinch positions. Allows Clancy Jr. to take a double underhook, and he's got a body lock now.
Look for Clancy to try and get around to the right here and throw that knee maybe. Goes for the takedown. Good reversal by Augusto.
Augusto takes top position here, and Clancy's going to go to his knees as he tries to stand. And I'd love to see Augusto try and use that opportunity to get the back butterfly sweep attempt off his back for Clancy Jr. Trying to tie up the neck here. I don't think his arms are going to be long enough to really connect anything.
Great explosion there from Clancy.
Interesting to pull guard there for Clancy Jr. Nicely on his side. I think he's going to try and wrestle up from here. Octopus guard here as he brings the arm under the body to try and get back up or take the back. Long back step pass. As Clancy tries to utilize this guard again, trying to get the arm into a deep half guard position, trying to get underneath his opponent. Just some nice, solid base, top control and pressure from Augusto. Without the same explosiveness off his back from Clancy Jr. we saw in the first round. Now the question here is Augusto going to try and drive Clancy back up against the fence like he did in that first. He was very deliberate in the first. He's got 3 minutes to work on top here, and I'd love to see him spend this time doing a little bit more damage. It's hard to do when you have someone so aggressive off their back as Clancy Jr.
Let's work, Andre, if you want his position.
But there is no point going through all of this trouble to get to top position without doing anything with it.
Augusto already being warned for activity. Clancy talking to his corner.
Working, Andre.
I think Clancy deliberately just taking this double overhook position, trying to essentially stall from underneath and force a restart standing.
There's been a couple of warnings from Paul Crosby here.
Nice short elbow.
That's the kind of thing that's going to buy him some time.
Armbar attempt as he cuts the angle. You also, on the arm here, the arms are so short of Augusto, it's going to be very, very difficult to catch an arm, and indeed a triangle. There was a little attempt of a triangle just before that from Clancy Jr., but it's going to be very hard to submit Augusto from the back position, especially the further the fight goes on. Again, he's big angle cut there.
Mad flexibility from the Paisley man.
Yeah, it looked like for a second Clancy might try and actually move into a leg entanglement. Instead, he tries to wrestle up from here. Butterfly sweep, and he takes top position. Very nicely done. Now the question is, with a minute and a half to go, can he do anything with it? Passes directly into Mount.
This is a bad spot, and there's a lot of time for Sean Clancy here.
Augusto gives the back up. Plenty of time to try and open up the neck here. It's going to be hard to do with someone who's good on the ground and as stocky and strong as Augusto, but you combine it with some strong strikes and open up this position.
Big shots here from Sean Clancy.
This is good.
Could he be the first person to finish Andre Augusto with strikes? Augusto covering up, trying to find a way out from underneath him.
Augusto has to move more. He can't allow Clancy Jr. to drive his hips into the mat.
Augusto bleeding from some of these shots now.
And this is a better position for Augusto to just wait out the last 40 seconds of this round. Clancy Jr. trying to force him to, trying to encourage him to turn to the knees so he can go back to that belly down position. Augusto's going to try and turn into the guard now.
Another big elbow from Clancy. That's what the corner are calling for. Final 10 seconds of the round. Clancy finishing strong.
And this is a really good example here of the difference between simple control time and doing damage from that control time.
I know I certainly have. Third and final round here, Sean Clancy Jr., Andre Augusto. Will Clancy be able to keep up that 100% finish streak? Or can Augusto shock the world?
Time.
Clancy protesting that that wasn't low. Let's have a look at that. It looked to land at the top of the thigh, so maybe caught the cup.
Corner.
Augusto will have up to 5 minutes here to confirm if he wants to continue.
Yeah, the toes landed above, but it looked like the push and the flat of the foot did clip the box there.
Corner, quiet. Be quiet.
And the doctor has been called in now. Obviously not a whole lot the doctor can do in this situation.
English.
They're going to need a translator here. Augusto does not speak English.
Malandragem, tô tentando dar uma descansada, entendeu? Tô tentando dar uma descansada.
Dalmar Silva, who competed earlier tonight, in the corner of Augusto on translator duties now. Again, not a whole lot Dr. Chris Lamb can do here. I believe they're saying that he's in pain, which I guess is fair enough. Okay, they're saying, telling the doctor that he can fight, so we'll get this one back underway.
Straight down the middle, okay? That's the first one, okay? I'm not going to give that one, okay?
So just a warning for Clancy, unintentional.
Time on, let's work.
But just wanting him to pick those shots, and Clancy coming out with a jab. Let's see if he can take out the frustrations on Augusto now. Going downstairs to the body, and Augusto firing back with a leg kick. Let's see if Clancy finds an opening for one of those knees again. Oh, big right hand, and that's hurt him. Clancy looking for the finish here, big knees. And you can see why no one's knocked Andre Augusto out to this point.
Incredible toughness. But it's not over yet.
Stalking him around the cage. Nice kick to the body. Augusto faking a spin there. Clancy, oh, big right hand and another. Sean Clancy, unloading it down. It's over! Unbelievable! Sean Clancy Jr. with a huge knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mr. Paul Crossley, calls a stop to this contest after 1 minute and 23 seconds of round number 3, declaring your winner by way of TKO in the red corner, Sean Clancy Jr.
Theodore Bergren.
Justin, Theo,
In the black, Justin Burlinson in the dark green. Sets of gloves and we're underway. Bergren coming out southpaw, nice kick to the body to start things off. Bergren super athletic. Oh, nice shot on the inside there from Burlinson. Burlinson loves a dogfight, but make no mistake about it, his bread and butter is his grappling. Can submit you, or he can do a lot of damage when he's got you in bad positions.
Yeah, he's competed on pro grappling shows, picked up victories there. Not long ago, competed in some combat jiu-jitsu against one of the top grapplers in the UK and picked up a victory there as well.
Nice jab there. Berg trying to back Burlinson onto the cage. The Englishman's still dangerous though.
Bergren striking looking very crisp, beautiful movement.
He's not just here to make up the numbers. There's a fair bit of hype around this young man on the Scandinavian scene.
And you can see why.
Burlinson lands a right though. Nice level change. Good job from Burlinson defensively though.
Yeah, Burlinson thinks about the guillotine for a second. The guillotine's a great option if you're definitely going to get taken down because it gives you something to work with. But if you're not going to get taken down, attacking that guillotine can really expose you to the takedown. So Burlinson thinks, no, I'm feeling pretty good on the feet here. A switch to clinch position, and now it's him who's in the dominant position. Transitions to the back early.
This is a bad spot for Bergren.
And he's trying to sink the arm under the neck. I can't quite see whether he's locked off here. Nice and dry early in this fight. It's going to be easier to get into these positions, to grip fight, to get underneath the neck. Expect to see him switch to a body triangle to really secure this back halfway through the first round. Legs are still open here. This gives Bergren opportunity. Bergren should be more active in the lower body, trying to strip these hooks and turn into his opponent. Perhaps Burlinson just giving him a little bit too much to think of on the upper body there, defending against the choke. It can be difficult to coordinate the upper and lower body defensive work. And a smart move there from Burlinson to throw some strikes to try and open up some opportunity to get underneath the neck, still hunting for it.
Burlinson just cut on the right eyelid there, it looks like. Nothing too serious, but worth keeping an eye on, I think.
And there's the switch to a body triangle. Inside body triangle position. He's trying to get the foot to the inside. Bergren has fallen to the locked off side, which is where he wants to be. This is going to limit the hip mobility and movement that Burlinson has. Burlinson goes to switch the legs and loses the hooks back with both hooks in and loses them again. He's trying to regain the position, but a scramble ensues, and now he's jumped the guillotine. He's got a minute left. Oh, he slipped out straight away. Some big strikes now from Bergren on top.
Watch those fingers, Theo, okay? Be careful.
Let's see if Bergren can maybe work on the cut here as Burlinson looks to throw the legs up.
For the arm bar, he's got the arm. He slips out. Oh, very nice ground and pound for Bergren though.
Oh, Burlinson may be hurt here.
I think so. He's covering up, and
Berg waiting to throw that big knee. Tries the uppercut instead, Burlinson. Goes for the takedown. Great tactical awareness there.
Absolutely, the timing on that shot. Shooting from the knees.
Oh, spinning back elbow from Burlinson. He's still taking big shots though.
Berger and striking just looking too crisp. Beautiful head movement from Burlinson. Big knee from Berger.
Oh, big knee lands.
10 seconds left in this round. Can Burlinson survive? He's taking some big shots.
Big shots here. Fires back though. Wow. The roof is going to go off this place when Kennedy Freeman walks out. Burlinson immediately looking for the takedown.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea at all. I'd love to see Burlinson try and establish top position instead of hunting the back there. He really has some damage to make up for.
Did show some good head movement in some of those exchanges, but
he still ate a lot of shots.
Yeah, a lot landed as well. Good takedown defense. Oh, jumps to a guillotine here. And what a turn up for the books this would be if he could submit Justin Burlinson.
I think the head's going to slip out here. Oh, defensive. This might be on here. The head looked like it was going to slip out there, and then Burlinson stopped defending it. I think he's fighting the hands here, and again, and the hands disconnect here, and now I'm pretty sure he's out. I want to see Burlinson really clear that head though, and he's got lots of time to work on top here if he can escape this position. And there he goes, inside the closed guard.
A look for Burlinson to do big damage here. Nice elbows.
This is what I'm saying, a much better position on the ground for Burlinson, because those elbows are brutal. Is he going to pass the half here? The guard is fully open here. Almost feels like Berger is baiting Burlinson to try and pass, to create space to stand. He frames on the hips. Burlinson's going to possibly attack the back here. I prefer to see him strike. Or a combination of the two. There we go.
Andrew Fisher in the corner of Justin Burlinson, screaming himself hoarse.
Trying to control the wrist across the body. Take away that defensive arm, and there the strikes are. He reconnects a body lock behind, and I think he's going to try and drag him backwards. He takes the legs out, and then he attacks the back again. One hook in. But look at the strike. He's brought the arm across. Is he under the neck? No, he's not. Berger does a great job of changing the angle there to alleviate that choke and force Burlinson to consider something else.
Well, the crowd thought he had it there.
But this is a great round so far for Burlinson. Looking for the Dagestani handcuff, and this is a great position to strike from.
Big damage by Burlinson, looking to get a grip on that neck again. Looking for a big squeeze, but it's not there.
Angle's wrong again. But this is a great round for Burlinson, really taking control. I'm loving how he's mixing up the attempts to exchange, improve the grappling and mixing up with the strikes. And now he's belly down on the back. Brilliant position here. Berger has the move. And it's all defensive work from Berger. Again, he's going to try and attack the neck, but you can see the angle just isn't right there.
Berger hasn't done a lot at all in this round defensively. Not really had the chance to.
Yes. And again, he goes to jump on the back. Drags him backwards to maintain top position. He's thinking about Kimura here. There's the Kimura. Can he get the tap? Oh, he slips out of it.
channeling Sakuraba there was Justin Burlinson.
Bergeron has done nothing but defend this entire round. What a round. After so much damage received at the end of the first. Burlinson just dominating. The question is, if he can't take him out in this round, how much energy is he going to have in the third and final round? Another takedown for Burlinson. He steps straight over into Mount. He's got 15 seconds to use it. And he's going to try. Elbow. Elbows.
Big shots from Burlinson as he looks to put Berg away in the second round. I don't think he's going to have time. Oh, another. And more. But we will see a third.
Berg looking exhausted as he comes out for the third. Immediate shot from Burlinson, top position. I think he's going to step straight over into Mount here. There's almost no defensive work, no frames with the lower body.
Is he going to try for a crucifix, maybe?
Might go crucifix, might go far side Americana. I think the Mount is there waiting for him. The question is Bergeron baiting the Mount to try and turn and give his back and stand back up? It just seems like he's not doing anything to defend. Well, there you go. A little bit of a turn to try and get back up. And I expect to see Burlinson do the exact same as what we saw in the second, not take the bait on the back take. Stick one hook in there and just throw more shots.
Bergeron cannot do much here to Burlinson. He's not had the positions in the second and now the start of the third round. It's been all one-way traffic.
I love how Burlinson ties up that far side arm in that gift wrap position. Reshot again. Every time Bergeron gets to his feet, Burlinson is immediately looking to grab around the top of the legs and slam him back down. He's got him up against the fence here. Pull him backwards. There you go. And you saw for a second there, Bergeron instinctively, intuitively tries to scramble there. You can tell he's got the grappling skills. He just does not have the energy to do it. Absolutely nothing in terms of offensive fighting in any way from Bergeron. It almost feels like that flurry at the end of the first round was the last bit of energy he had, and Burlinson just breaking him over the next two rounds.
I mean, it's a big night for the 24-year-old. He maybe had that adrenaline dump, put his foot on the gas for a little bit too long.
Burlinson passes into Mount. And he's got half a round to work from this Mount position. He's going for a head and arm choke. It's a good position here. I think he's going to get the tap. So little defensive work from Bergeron. It's almost like he's just waiting. Burlinson dropping down the weight. Dismounted, and there's the tap.
Submission! Justin Burlinson gets the tap in the third round. And you can see the emotion etched onto his face. Really had to work for that one, but that is going to mean the world to him.
What a fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mr. Paul Crossley, calls a stop to this contest after 2 minutes and 44 seconds of round number 3, declaring your winner by way of head and arm choke in the red corner, Justin Burlinson.
Justin Burlinson with his 9th professional victory here in Newcastle. Italo Gomez in the white, Sean Clancy Jr. in the top. Big fight feel here in Glasgow. Gomez with a jab early. Clancy's corner telling him to keep those feints working. They said that he's not going to go first. They're looking to bait Italo Gomez into a mistake. Wonderful level change by Clancy.
Absolutely fantastic. He's got to watch his omoplata though. Gomez with the omoplata, and one of the nice things you can do with this is switch back to the triangle quite nicely. Very, very dry, just a minute into this fight. Clancy picking him up for a second, not out of trouble yet.
7 professional wins by way of submission for Italo Gomez.
The leg's open, and Italo's on the leg now. Oh, knee bar here, and it's a nice knee bar. He's applying it.
Italo Gomez!
Oh, the angle of the leg, wow! The mobility of Clancy Jr. That was a really, really nice knee bar attempt there.
I'll be honest, Dan, I thought something absolutely horrible had happened with him line up then, but my goodness.
And another submission attempt, I feel like is coming with this guillotine. Clancy sits into half guard, and it really is a barrage of submission attempts from Gomez to open this fight. This is what we've been saying with this big test for Sean Clancy Jr. Deep half guard for Clancy Jr. Elbows from Gomez. Clancy Jr. back to his feet.
And the crowd here absolutely roaring at that. Clancy turns his man onto the cage. Italo Gomez, nicknamed Chipper, means the gift. He's certainly not here to give any kind of presents to Sean Clancy Jr. He is making the 22-year-old work for every second of this. 2 minutes to go in the round, and thus far it belongs to the Brazilian.
Absolutely. A dominant performance from Gomez so far. And around the cage, the audience, everyone on their feet. You can feel the tension.
You've got to use it. Use your position.
Possibly one of the biggest prospects to ever come out of Scotland. Trying to write his story here tonight.
UFC's Paul Craig looking on. Former Cage Warriors champion and Scottish MMA legend Stevie Ray cheering on as well. They're out in force for this young man tonight.
Clancy now with the double underhooks. He's trying to get the takedown.
Clancy right in front of head coach James Doolan. Coach Doolan telling him that the double leg is there.
Use your position, you got
expenditure this late in the round. Oh, nice flipping right hand.
Clancy called him on the separation there. Gomez with a right. They're throwing big shots. Lead hook from Clancy just a little short. Still trying to find his range. Gomez mixing things up. Final 10 seconds of the round. Big kick up the middle and another kick to the body. Gomez doing a great job getting out of the way of the counter. What a first round. Look, Sean Clancy Jr. is not most people, and we are underway here in the second round. Gomez coming out throwing strikes, but we know his bread and butter is on the ground, but it's Clancy with a takedown, and he's got Gomez in a bad spot early.
Very early in the round, he's got to be careful not to slip off the top of the back here. One hook in, second hook in. This is a great spot.
controlling the positioning very nicely, not slipping off around the jaw here. He's putting the squeeze on. It's not under the neck, but it could be enough still.
And there is a long time left in this round. Clancy trying to disrupt the breathing of Gomez, switches back to that big squeeze.
Putting another squeeze on here.
Oh, this is huge. And there's the submission! It's over! Unbelievable!
He does it again. A tough first round, and he comes back in the second. Takedown, back take, finish, done.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mr. Rich Mitchell, calls a stop to this contest after just 58 seconds of round number 2, declaring your winner by way of rear naked choke in the red corner, Sean, the one, Clancy Jr.
Wow, what a way to cap off an incredible night of mixed martial arts.